Hello, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some more updates coming out from the Middle East to share with you in regards to this upcoming attack that's still supposed to be coming from Iran. I've got some indications here that Iran may actually back out from this and not strike Israel at the end of the day. Maybe this is just a whole show to kind of push Israel into an economic fallout is kind of what we're seeing right now. This is video footage coming out for the Ben Gurion Airport just yesterday at the beginning of the military drills that were supposed to be staged by Iran for 2 days going into today. And we had the airport completely shut down. All their flights are grounded. And this is obviously causing massive economic damage to Israel. Okay, so we've got some reports as well that Hezbollah may also strike Israel alone without the help of Iran. Okay, and this would make sense, to be honest, because Iran's got a lot to lose if they decide to go after Israel and strike them in a massive attack that we know that Israel will retaliate. We know that they will. They've already come out and said they would bomb their oil and gas facilities, potentially strike their nuclear facilities. I don't think Iran is willing to risk that. But then again, at this point, we've heard from the IRGC top commander and many members of the Iranian government that they don't care if this sparks a major war in the Middle East. They're willing to go to war with Israel over the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, the top Hamas leader in Tehran that just died about a week ago, and supposedly either an airstrike or some sort of bomb that went off in his apartment that he was staying at. So I want to talk some more about this today. I've got numerous things we're going to go over here. We're also going to talk about the fact that Israel could be preparing a preemptive strike against Hezbollah. Okay, and I'm talking a massive strike too, not just something small like what we saw in Beirut. I think it would be a much bigger hit to Hezbollah. So I want to show you a few things today. Let's get into this on the Times of Israel. Hezbollah appears increasingly set to strike Israel independent of Iran, says report. Okay, this came out today. Hezbollah appears increasingly set to act against Israel independent of an expected Iranian response to the recent killing of two terror leaders, CNN reports, citing two sources familiar with intelligence on the matter. One of the sources says Hezbollah is moving at a faster clip than Iran and readying an attack, which the Lebanese terror organization looks to launch in the coming days. According to the U.S. News Network, multiple officials say Iran seems to still be hashing out its retaliation plans, with one U.S. military official quoted as saying Tehran has already made some, but not all, of the expected preparations for a large-scale attack against Israel. Okay, so we know in regards to that Iran, they did two military drills in the last 2 days, practicing launching long-range air-to-air missiles to strike Israel. We know they'll launch a major drone attack as well, probably at the same time. And because we know they're preparing for this is obviously at some point coming, right? But at the same time, also, they've been receiving lots of weaponry coming from Russia, okay? There's been lots of Ilyushin 76 cargo planes entering into Tehran over the last few days. And there's been lots of equipment being brought into the country. We know for sure they've been getting Iskander ballistic missiles. And also, they have been receiving electronic warfare systems that can be used to knock the technology off of Israeli warplanes if they try to enter into Iran's airspace. Okay, so they apparently have been deploying those as well. So if you think about that, it's going to take time for them to deploy these throughout their country, and they obviously want to be well prepared for a retaliation event if they go ahead and strike Israel. So, this could definitely take them weeks, excuse me, to prepare for this strike. If they're expecting this to potentially turn into a war, wouldn't you want to make sure that your country is definitely well prepared for some sort of attack coming afterwards from the Israelis? I would think so. So that's probably why we're also seeing a major delay. This could definitely take weeks longer or maybe months. Who knows? The second source says that unlike Iran, Hezbollah can likely initiate an attack with few to no advanced signs as Lebanon border Israel. The source adds that it's unclear how or if the Islamic Republic and its Lebanese proxy are cooperating on a potential attack, and that some officials believe they may not be on the same page about how to proceed. So definitely lots of question marks floating out from the Middle East right now on whether this attack is going to take place, and it seems like the further we go along, it's looking less likely, but at the same time, that could be the game plan here. The game plan could be to keep Israel and the West and the United States guessing as to when they're going to do this, and at the same time, the longer they drag this out, at the same time, if they're able to keep up the pressure and make it seem as if they're going to launch this attack very soon, put out a lot of provocative statements saying it's coming very soon, and they could be saying this for weeks and cause a lot of economic damage to Israel like we see here in the video. I'll show you guys this on full screen here in just a little bit. But let me show you this as well. Let's jump over to Fox News just for a moment. I want to show you this report as well. Israel issues message to Lebanese citizens amid reports of potential preemptive strike on Hezbollah. The U.S. has repositioned some assets into the region to deter Iran from attacking Israel. So it says right here, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant issued a warning to the people of Lebanon as both Israel and Hezbollah consider first strike options amid simmering tensions in the Middle East. Gallant stressed that Israel seeks peace, prosperity, and stability on both sides of the northern border, in contrast to Hezbollah, who have taken Lebanon and its people hostage for the sake of narrow sectarian interests. We will not allow Hezbollah militia to destabilize the border in the region, Gallant said. If Hezbollah continues its aggression, Israel will fight it with all its might. Remember Nasrallah's regret following the dangerous and miscalculated venture he embarked on in August 2006. Learn the lesson of the past so as not to fall into dangerous scenario in August 2024. Gallant then recited the Arabic proverb, "He who plays with fire may expect destruction." Okay, so obviously sending a major warning and threat to Lebanon and also Hezbollah to let them know not to mess with Israel or they will launch a preemptive strike. And we know that this could be coming at some point soon. They've been talking a lot about this, and I'll be going over this on X here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and switch gears and move over to X now. I've got some information that I want to share with you. So this is from Nexta on X. Iran may back away from carrying out an attack on Israel, says Politico. The White House, backed by allies in the Middle East, is trying to persuade Tehran to reconsider the decision to attack. U.S. officials warned that a massive strike would only heighten tensions and increase the risk of direct conflict between the two countries. They also know that the blast that killed the head of Hamas Politburo was a result of a covert operation and did not kill any Iranian citizens. According to the sources, Tehran is increasingly agreeing with Washington's point of view. Iran is expected to respond to the assassination, but an immediate attack on Israel is unlikely. Okay, so this was a report that was coming out from Politico, basically stating that Iran may be second guessing and decide not to attack Israel at the end of the day, that maybe as time goes on, they're thinking about this more and potentially they may not do this. Now, I'm not saying they won't attack Israel. It's very possible they could still do that. But we do know the U.S. has been working with Iran a lot lately, trying to solve this diplomatically with them. Also put pressure in the Middle East. They've been sending multiple strike groups over there, aircraft carriers and lots of assets, even F-22 Raptors over there. There's been I think 16 to 24 of them that had been sent to the Middle East as well, sending lots of military assets to the Middle East to prevent Iran from carrying out any kind of a strike on Israel, or at least at the bare minimum, be able to defend Israel if they do come under attack. So again, we have no idea when this is coming and if it's coming anytime soon. From the Times of Israel alerts, live update, Ben-Gvir appears to call on Netanyahu to launch preemptive strikes. Okay, so he is the national security minister for Israel. And Ben-Gvir, I will say, he typically talks like this. Like, there was one time months back, I remember reporting that Hezbollah had launched over 100 rockets into Israel at one time. And he came out basically yelling at Benjamin Netanyahu and saying, how can we just sit back and not go to war with Hezbollah? They literally launched 100 rockets in one day. Why are you not doing something about this? We should be going to war right now with Hezbollah. So typically he does talk like this a lot. He is very provocative and very aggressive in nature. So it doesn't surprise me that he would speak like this. But then again, there's lots of buildup about a preemptive strike, and we've been talking about this over the last 2 or 3 days now, that Israel may do this to prevent any kind of large-scale attack coming from Hezbollah or Iran or anything like that. So I thought that was interesting. So here's from the Ben Gurion Airport that I wanted to share with you. We'll watch this video footage real quick. And it's from Megatron Ron. Says, new, the Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv is empty with reports of multiple flight suspensions. I think he meant suspensions right here. Air traffic is almost completely grounded as Israel anticipates a strike from Iran. Okay, so this was just yesterday, the Ben Gurion Airport. So take a look at this. All right, so it's pretty crazy to see that just in a matter of 24 to 48 hours, I mean, at the very beginning when we heard this happening, the airports were packed, okay? Everybody was trying to get out of Israel as soon as they possibly could. Now looks like most people have left already, and this is what the airport looks like as of yesterday. I'm not sure if this is how it looks today, but just yesterday completely cleared out, okay? And this has got to be doing major, major economic damage to Israel. And again, this could be the whole plan at the end of the day. There might not actually be a strike coming from Iran. It could just be economic damage in the meantime. And maybe the strike could come later. It could come in months from now. Who knows? But we do know that they expect for this to be a surprise when this attack does take place. So finally, one last thing I want to share with you before I get you guys out of here from Times of Israel Alerts. Live update report, CENTCOM chief in Israel for second time this week to coordinate on potential Iran Hezbollah attacks. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We just had the CENTCOM chief, Michael Correa, in Israel, like literally just maybe 2 days ago, I want to say. Maybe no more than 3 days ago. Now he's there again. Okay, and I think it was on Monday, actually, that we reported that. He was there on Monday, yeah. So in 2 days, he's been there twice. He left and then he came back. And apparently this is to coordinate on a potential Iran Hezbollah attack, okay? And we heard that they were doing their final preparations on Monday. So if that was their final preparations, why did he return? I thought that was very interesting when I heard about this, that he was returning. So I don't know. Are they preparing maybe to go on some sort of offensive? Is that what this is about? I have no idea, but apparently he's back again in Israel for the second time this week. So that definitely is very strange to me that they would do that. But I wanted to share that with you. So obviously not too much information coming out from the Middle East at this time. It's been relatively quiet. Obviously, we're just playing the waiting game right now. We're waiting to see if Iran is going to launch this attack. And they could do this at a moment's notice. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen this weekend. Like I always tell you guys, that typically when these things take place, when these major attacks happen, they usually happen over the weekend. And it's usually so that way it doesn't affect markets around the world, even in their own countries. So obviously that's a big issue. If they don't want that to happen, then this would have to take place over a weekend when markets are closed. So we'll see. Maybe it'll happen this weekend. Maybe it'll never happen. We have no idea. But I just wanted to bring the latest updates for you coming out from the Middle East. That's what's happening right now on the ground in Israel, and also some information coming out from Hezbollah and Iran. So I hope you got something out of this update. If you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.